My brother who lives a few states away sent me a letter through the mail. Butch. I filled in for my parents today at my little sister's college orientation because they couldn't make it. While I was having lunch with the other parents, one of the moms commented on how young I looked. I told her I had Jessica when I was 13. She choked on her salad. I literally have $1 to my name right now. What's your Venmo? No, Jeremy requests $1. The last one. Guys, what's a random scam you pulled off at work? A client once found our 30-page report too long. So I reduced the font size by 2 points, and the report was 22 pages. He saw it, and was like, guys, this is fantastic. Bartending at Longitude, and a kid swaggers up with a very impressive ID that shows his age at being squarely 17. I pointed out, and he says, "Duck, you're the first bartender I've met that can do maths." 10 minutes later, he walks by with a pint and gives me a thumbs up. I snuck out my phone during lecture and immediately received this. Cue the X-Files theme. Professor Donaldson's iPhone would like to share a photo. Quietly, I'll tell you. My uncle just sent a message in the family group asking for money. I privately messaged him asking for banking details so I can deposit it. He responded saying he doesn't actually need money. He asked for money so that nobody in the family would ask him for money. Yesterday, my 16-year-old little bro collapses, breathing stops, gets diagnosed with a heart problem. Please see his first entry into the siblings chat while admitted into the hospital on the same day. Imagine dying. Couldn't be me. My little brother who's almost deaf admitted to the whole family that he will just turn off his hearing aids when he doesn't want to hear us. Like he be getting yelled at, and this boy will simply mute the haters. I think he's a king for that. I knew a single guy in college that wore a fake wedding ring because it helped him get attention from women. He slept with dozens of women that thought he was cheating on his wife with them. When he told them he was single afterwards, they were all outraged. What's the worst thing you can say in an elevator full of people? True story. My mom and dad were in a crowded elevator while my mom was very obviously pregnant to the point of bursting. I guess she looks at my dad and says, "When are you going to tell your wife about me? My parents are happily married. She was just pranking him." My dad said it was the longest elevator ride of his life. The weirdest genre of dudes on here are 40-year-old men with wives who follow a bunch of young women LMFAO. As a 40-year-old married dude, I can tell you, it's because those young women, or many of them, often posts pictures of their babs, and following them makes those pictures show up on my phone. I got a notification saying my Lyft driver was deaf, and to text him anything I needed to say. So I texted him saying thank you for picking me up. This man turned around to me and said, "No problem bro, you can talk to me. I just say that I'm deaf, so my passengers don't talk to me." After the Adams County Sheriff's Office raided the home of Afro Man and found nothing, Afro Man turned footage of the raid into a music video. Now, the officers are suing over emotional distress, embarrassment, ridicule, loss of reputation and humiliation. Afro Man sued by law enforcement officers who raided his home. My parents are replacing their coffee machine, which is 7 years old. Me, that's not that old. I have sheets older than that. Mother, well perhaps your sheets aren't getting as much action as our coffee machine. I'm going to need an ambulance. Guy joined Zoom class shirtless, and the tutor told him to turn his video off, and so he did, and it just displayed his profile pic of him shirtless at the beach. How do I check my son's history? I took my son's phone, and I want to know how to look at history. There's no way to do that. Not allowed to work from home, so I don't. My job recently told me that even during the snowstorm we got earlier this week, I'm not allowed to work from home at all. Even though I work in IT and do everything remotely, they want me in the office. So I deleted Teams and my email off my phone. I'm no longer available after hours. My boss tried to call me for something urgent last night and couldn't reach me. He asked why today, and I explained to him what I was told. I'm not allowed to work from home. I was just at McDonald's and this lady behind me honked at me and flipped me off because I was taking too long to order. So I paid for her food. When I got to the second window to get my food, I showed them both receipts and took her food too. I paid for it, it's mine. My uncle got the job, y'all. He just finished his last Zoom interview. I have an uncle who responds to text messages after 2 months. No one knows where he lives exactly, and he shows up when he wants to. He is one of my role models. Got my first homeowners association complaint, so instead of just dealing with it and moving on, I'm reading the entire homeowners association handbook and snitching on every single one of my neighbors that has shut wrong with their house. I heard of a guy who was fired from a company and had a grudge, so he wrote fake Glassdoor reviews that were unrealistically positive. Overly high salaries, absurd benefits, fancy perks. They had trouble hiring for years because candidates thought they were being lowballed. There's a guy on TikTok who owns a company where you can complain about your boss anonymously and he goes to your work and cuss them out for you. My cousin punched my wall, left a hole and started laughing. When he got his first house, I went over and punched a hole right in the wall. I waited for 11 years to do that. My new stepmom is younger than me. Well, this weekend my dad married his girlfriend. My parents got divorced over my dad cheating with her. I'm 24 and my new stepmom is 20. So there's that. And I'm not sure what exactly I'm feeling right now. Does she have a dad? Fight fire with fire. My mom just sent me this of my dad. Frozen Hispanic. My uncle walked into Christmas, filled a plate, ate in a separate room, and left. He was here 4 minutes. This is still my favorite ever family photo. My mum did the O. We told her we were going to write love. A Colombian protester single-handedly holds back an armored water cannon truck using a homemade shield. Capped in South America. When I was in 8th grade, this kid used to ask to use the bathroom all the time just to leave class. He didn't really have to go. One day, the teacher said, "Just pee in your pants," and he said okay, and ducking did it. Right there at his desk. I'll never forget you, Jason. That was badass. One time, I bought an illegal CD from someone in Greece. When I played it, it was 47 straight minutes of someone saying, "I'm a homeless man that just stole €5 from you. I'm a homeless man that just stole €5 from you." I was shocked, dismayed, and low-key impressed. My aunt Cheryl just created a group chat called Cheryl's Surprise Party and then left the group. I'm feeling a lot of emotions but mostly respect. One time, I almost got fired because a district manager asked me how long it would take to fix someone's inventory duck up on the computer, and I said an hour and a half, and they went, "How long would it take with my help?" And I said 3 hours. I was working in a movie theater in France. A customer started an argument with my manager, who was a highly functional alcoholic, and did not give a duck about pleasing Karens. She stupidly went, "The customer is king," to which he replied, "We are in France, we decapitate kings." My parents have access to mine and my brother's bank accounts and accidentally took money out of my brother's savings instead of theirs to pay the mortgage, and now every time we tell him to do something he says, "You can't talk to me like that in my house." Back in my day, I could walk in a store with $25 and walk out with 6 porterhouse steaks, 2 chickens, a case of beer, 5 bottles of wine, 2 loaves of bread, and a gallon of milk. Can't do that today. Too many ducking cameras. There's a dude on TikTok giving real player advice, and it's all about respecting women and how to deal with social anxiety. The kicker is his techniques ducking work. LMRO. Got social anxiety? I know it's hard, but a real player sometimes has to put themselves on autopilot and just start talking. Countless times I'm saying under my breath, ah shut," before talking to a pretty lady, but I do it anyway. Real player shut. My 3-month-old son is now twice as big as when he was born. He's on track to weigh 7.5 trillion pounds by age 10. Your task is to blow a job interview in the first 30 seconds. What do you do? How strict is the sexual harassment policy? Arkansas men arrested for taking turns shooting each other while wearing bulletproof vest after drinking. God forbid men have hobbies. 2 weeks ago, I told kids at school to write an essay titled, "If I Were a Millionaire." Everyone was writing, except a girl who leaned back with arms folded. "What's the matter?" I asked. "Why aren't you writing?" "I'm waiting for my secretary," she replied. Scored her 10 over 10. Is my boyfriend broken? Why did you leave WrestleMania on for the cats? They need to learn to protect us. Might be ugly, but I have good ideas. I wore a green screen shirt to picture day. This is my ID card. It's a summer break, so I woke my 12-year-old daughter up at 5:15 this morning. I've been waiting for this revenge since she was 4. When she asked me why I was up, I told her my blanket fell off the bed. So I accidentally gave myself my own vaccine. The pharmacy tech scooted the tray to me and left, and I was like, I guess I'm doing this myself, and just wiped my shoulder with the alcohol thingy and gave myself the vaccine. The pharmacy tech looked at me like I just killed someone. Hey Mike, I've been so honey since I've met you. I've never felt like this after meeting a guy. Sorry? Who is this? I'm glad your phone is working. It's your window cleaner and you're due the past 3 cleans. Please settle your account before we pass it to the small claims court. Pilots low-key have aura when they walk past you in the airport. Tried to let one get on the escalator first, and he said no. Don't worry about me, I'm in no rush. They can't go anywhere without me. The Price is Right host Bob Barker dead at 99. My man got as close as possible without going over $1. Legend. Every year, our aunt in Maine sends us little handmade chocolate lobsters. This year they are soap. Guess how I found out? My little brother got in trouble again at school today because a little girl accidentally walked in the boys' restroom and he said, "What are you doing in my swamp?" And it made her cry. In 2017, a party I threw got busted, so I put on pajamas, sprayed Axe in my mouth, cover up alcohol, and hopped in bed. When the cops knocked on my door, I pretended like I had been trying to sleep, and party was thrown without my consent. 2 over 3 roommates got a citation. Guess who didn't? In college, we named our intramural softball team No Game Scheduled, because if the other team didn't show up, they lost their league deposit and forfeited. It worked several times. Everyone hated us, and nothing as cool as that has happened to me since. Went to cancel a streaming service that was $10.99 a month, and they were like, lol, okay, you got us. How about $2.99? Going to spend tomorrow cancel treating every service in my life. I 100% subscribe to this philosophy. Hannah. People who say no pun intended are cowards. Intend your puns, weaklings. I visited a gun shop in Indiana once and had to use the bathroom. Inside was a portrait of an Ike man with a thick wooden board covering where his private part would be. Curiosity got the best of me and I tried to lift the board. It let off an air horn throughout the whole store. Teenage Mutant Ninja Pixels. Where's the rat? Turn your screen off. Police station Kalupatiaya. Got arrested for not carrying my identity card. Treated me very well. Cells are spacious and clean. Food was okay, but rice for 3 times is bit boring. Handcuff was bit corroded, but it's okay, it does the job right. The officers are friendly. Overall it was a nice experience. This was at the library at my college. Can I turn in a paper without citing all sources? No. William Shakespeare, Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1, line 96. Just went through the drive-thru at McDonald's. My total was $8.46, and as I went to hand him the 46 cents he said, "We cool, I don't like counting shut," and shut the window. People who are able to read Chinese. What tattoos have you seen that were clearly not what the tattooed person aimed for? I'm Chinese and love to ask people why they have butthole tattooed on themselves. I can't even read Chinese. I work as a waiter. Lady walks in by herself. Throws back to shots of tequila, then to shots of vodka. Me, any plans after this? I'm going back to work. I'm on my break. Takes her takeaway cheese fries and leaves. Holy mother of based. I remember Cupid19 had my uncle on Facebook, acting like I'm legend. My sister is about to have a baby, and my brother showed up to the hospital in a suit, because first impressions matter. I'm so glad I learned CAD. $34 per knob from Bosch, $0.12 per knob from my 3D printer. When I needed one for my Maytag range, I simply went to Home Depot and took a knob off the display model and put in my pocket. In 2012, over 2,000 Koreans gathered to watch a single-man pitch a tent, a 24-man army tent, after he claimed on an internet forum that he could do it in under 2 hours. The event grew so large it even attracted corporate sponsors. The man succeeded, taking about an hour to accomplish the task. My mother used to tell me I was the world's greatest potato peeler. I really bought into it, and every time we'd have potatoes I'd get so excited to show off my skills as the ultimate peeler. It wasn't until I was in my mid-30s that I realized the whole play. Tao che mom. Tao che. What rule was made because of you? Men are allowed to wear business casual shorts in the office. Dress code didn't allow men to wear shorts, but did allow skirts. Showed up in a kilt until the rules changed. A kid at my school has a panini maker, so he sells paninis to other students, and everyone called him the panini man. But the campus police people shut him down, because it's not legal to sell food if it's not a bake sale, or whatever. So now he's the paper towel man, and he sells paper towels, but with each paper towel purchase, you get a free panini. Sure, email it. In case you didn't know, smiley faces aren't considered professional. Turkey sent a 51 years old guy with no specialized lenses, eye cover or ear protection, and got the silver medal. Out of the 7.7 billion people on Earth, what do you think no one is doing right? Masturbating to me. Just rubbed one out for ya. Godspeed, sir. I told my math students they could bring a one-sided cheat sheet, and this is what they come up with. Never forget when I lived in Florida, I was talking to this guy, and found out he had a girlfriend. I found her Insta, messaged her, we met up, took a selfie, and posted it to Duck with him. He screenshotted the selfie, and posted it on his Insta, and said both my girls looking good for real. My grandpa's last words to me on his dealt bed were, they cut off my balls, and he made me lean in to whisper it into my ear, then started laughing so hard we had to call the nurse. Looks real. These are great, looks like it's lit, and has people running to tell you to put it out. I work in an oil refinery and people are going insane. Worth every penny. My parents invited all their friends and family to a costume party. Then when people got there, they found out it was actually their wedding. Every time I drink milk, I remember my roommate who used to put powdered milk in his milk, so he could drink more milk per milk. We're drinking 1 or 2% milk, and he's out there drinking 115% milk. A kid in the Dallas airport tapped me on the leg while we waited in a line, then whispered, "Hey, guess what? My dad's jet ski sank in a lake, and we never saw him again." Kid's mom, stop telling people that. My dad took a selfie with a pigeon. I'm screaming. On a Zoom call at work today, a co-worker said she was going on mute because she had found an emergency stash of biscuits and was trying to eat them all before her kids came home. We all applauded. Parents of porn stars, amateur or pro, how have you handled it? Not a parent of a porn star, or a parent, or related to a porn star, or a porn star, or know a porn star in real life. But when I was a kid, one of our fish committed suicide by jumping out of a hole in the top of our tank. Someone is stealing the wheels off police cars in Mississippi. They weren't stolen. They were confiscated under suspicion of usage in illicit activity. If the department wants them returned, they need to prove their innocence in court after paying the requisite processing fee of $526.87, upon which their tires will be returned to them in 3 to 5 months. When I'm bored, I message the Who Cares on back page and see if I can get them to do manual labor. Hey, what are your prices? 100 half hour, 150 hour, and you'll do anything I want? Yes pappy. Okay good. I have a really long fence that needs to be painted. Shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes. I have cash. Like an actual fence. Last night, Corona led me down a YouTube rabbit hole, and I ended up watching a video of an Australian cheesemaker making parmesan. He starts his videos by saying good day curd nerds, and all the comments are Italians telling him to go duck himself. Starting a new business. Do you have an annoying boss or pretentious coworker? For the low price of $5 per month, I'll comment on their LinkedIn that's a stupid idea every time they post something. Broke up with this man today and he asked me for one more chance, so I said okay, and then he broke up with me. What's the first thing you'd do if you could be invisible? Beat the shit out of a street mime. That's equally evil and hilarious lol. You could help him become the best mime ever. As a child, I promised my mother I would win the Nobel Prize in Physics. 50 years later, I said to my mother, see, I have kept my promise. I won the Nobel Prize. No, said my mother, you promised it would be in physics. Kenza Bureau-e awarded the 1994 Literature Prize. I set up a fake dog food company last month, bought Purina at the pet store, and paid Laura Luma $100 for this post. I just ate dog food. It's human grade, which means you and your dog can share a tasty nutrient-dense treat together. Order yours today. So I'm driving, and I notice the guy behind me is cute, so I'm checking him out in my rearview mirror, and he dead ace airdrops me his number. Airdrop. Would like to share a note. To the girl staring at me from the really old car. Hope this is you. For weeks, my parents have been at war against a very resourceful rat, and I've been begging them to call pest control, but no, my dad would rather balance a banana on a 2x4 over a garbage can full of water, like a ducking cartoon cat.